Okay, the older guys are getting themselves back in the routine. Again, we talk about playing with great eyes, and so for the older guys right now, it's about getting their eyes focused in the right spot. The younger guys, they're still learning. They're taking baby steps right now.
You got after Aries and not taking a lot in the spring. What kind of progress have they made from the spring till now?
It's been good. I think spring helped them. I think they've gotten a lot smarter, which is going to make them better players. I think this spring helped eliminate a lot of thinking. So they're doing a lot more reacting, all right, which makes them play a lot faster.
Aries just put on about 15 or so pounds. What difference have you seen in him from last year?
He should be stronger. As we work our way towards the first scrimmage, you'll be able to tell more. How he handles that extra weight he's put on, which is more muscle than weight. Which is good. It's solid. So he should be a lot stronger runner.
What are you looking for from the backs, not Brendan Holloway, to compliment him? Compliment Brandon.
Again, just consistency. Again, Brandon is nifty. He's quick. He's explosive. The other guys are going to be powerful. All right, they got to be strong. They got to break tackles. Got to have low pad level. So, Holloway, our other backs are more of our fastball, and Holloway's that change-up pitch. So he's kind of the change-up. Where defense have to play really sound against him. Because again, at any point in time, he can hit a home run.
You talk about that. How do you utilize his versatility?
In different ways. We try to get him the ball in as many ways as possible, try to create opportunities for him to get the ball out in space where he can work one-on-one.
Without Dak, and then obviously his 5'8" frame, how important is it to get someone to compliment him?
It's going to be important. The compliment is not only in the backfield, but it comes from the receiver spot also. Again, I think, having an experience with Fred Ross and Donald Gray at receiver, Malik Deer, I think that's going to compliment him also because, again, that takes a lot of pressure off the run game, knowing that we have weapons outside.
After Ashton lost the starting job kind of midway through the year last year, how did he kind of handle that, and what kind of approach have you seen from him in the offseason and throughout camp so far?
Never flinch. Again, he never flinched from that. He continued to work and got better and better. I thought this spring, he took a giant step. All right, and I think this fall, hopefully we'll see a different Shumpert. But I thought after spring ball, I really thought after the bowl game, I thought things began to go his way. He began to really understand, what he needed to do to be successful. All right, and not only him being successful, but making us successful. So I thought after that bowl game, I thought he really began to really understand what he needed to do in order to succeed.
Do you think he has a chance to redeem himself this year?
I think he does. And I'm hoping he does.
He looks a little trimmer. What kind of feedback did you get from the strength and conditioning staff? Did he have a good summer?
He had a good summer. He's a worker. Heck, you can roll the ball out there any day of the week and he'll be ready to go play. He's a guy that's going to work hard. He's going to give you everything he's got.
What do you think his issues were last year? What was the reason that you made him?
Well, I think he was still learning the game. Josh had departed a year early, and I think at that point right away he was thrown into it when I think he was still learning the game, and and so he didn't meet our expectations of what we were hoping for and looking for, and I think now he's at that point.
Fred was talking about Brandon. He goes out there, gets hit hard, and some hits looks like he's not going to get back up, but he bounces back up. You just talk about Brandon's toughness for a guy his size.
He's a tough kid now. He's a tough kid. That's one thing. Not only is he physically tough, but he's a mentally tough kid. He'll push through the tough times. And he don't mind throwing it in there. When he knows he has to. When he gets to that point, he'll lower his pads and throw it in there.
How much of a better receiver has he become?
He's always been a good receiver. We worked him a little bit this spring when we had some injuries back out at the receiver spot, and I thought that helped just strengthen his hands and his knowledge of route running.
When you looked at his tape, Brandon's last year compared to his first couple seasons, what did you see that was different that allowed him to have the season that he did?
Confidence. A very confident athlete back there. So he's very confident in himself and his ability and knowing the offense. So when you play confident, you play relaxed, you play very well, and he did.
I know you always want your guys to set the tone and have a solid ground game, but How much more important is that this year, knowing whoever starts at quarterback is going to be inexperienced?
Well, again, you want to take the pressure off the quarterback, and you can do that with a solid run game. And I think our guys will be solid. I think we got a good, solid group, and we just got to produce. We got to do the little things right that's going to create the extra yards and move chains.
What type of jump have those redshirt freshmen made for you?
They're working. I mean, it's early. They got a long way to go. So we're hoping to, by scrimmage number 2, to see some improvement from those guys.
You mentioned that Shumpert last year had some down moments and didn't meet the expectations. How do you keep a guy engaged with that? Well, maybe his role is diminished a little bit. How do you keep him?
Well, that wasn't hard with him because, again, he's a guy, mental toughness, he understands the mistakes he made, and he knew the only way to correct it, would be to continue working. He can go in the tank, but that ain't going to correct it, so he knew what he had to do to get it corrected, and he went out and worked every day.